Hey everyone, so in this video I'm going to be showing you guys the top ETFs to buy in 2020. Now before we get started, I want to let you guys know that these ETFs are purely my opinion, and I'm going to let you guys know why I think these are good picks for the year 2020 and beyond. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get started. Now the first ETF we're going to be looking at is going to be the Vanguard Information Technology ETF, which is the symbol ticker VGT. As we go down here, we see that VGT tracks a market cap weighted index of information technology companies. And here we do have more information about this ETF, including the dividend yield, PE ratio, market cap, etc. So now going to the Vanguard website, we see more information about this ETF. So as we can see, it does seek to track the performance of a benchmark index that measures the investment return of stocks in the IT sector. One of the things to know is that it is passively managed, and it includes stocks of companies that serve the electronics and computer industries or that manufacture products based on the latest applied science. Now the expense ratio for this ETF is going to be 0.10%. So going down right here, we do see more facts about it. And as you can see on the Vanguard website, it does say it is a high risk, high reward ETF. Now going down here, we have more information about the performance of this ETF and the hypothetical growth of $10,000 if you were to invest it about a decade ago. Now here is what this portfolio is composed of, which I truly personally like. So it has 11.80% in application software, 3.80% in communications equipment, 15.20% in data processing and outsourced services, and here are the rest of them. The top 10 holdings as of now are Apple, Microsoft, Visa, Intel, MasterCard, Cisco Systems, Adobe, Nvidia, PayPal, and Salesforce. Now the reason that I think that this ETF is a great buy is due to the fact that this ETF is composed of information technology, which is a huge sector, especially right now that everyone is at home working remotely for the most part. Many companies are transferring all of their information online, utilizing online formats to distribute services and information. So I think this is an amazing ETF to get into right now. Now this is a high risk, high reward ETF, and this is one that I do personally invest in and one that I do believe in a lot. The second ETF we are going to be looking at is the symbol ticker SPY, which is an ETF that tracks the S&P 500 index. Now, as we look at more information about this ETF, we see that it does have an expense ratio of 0.09%. And going down here, we see the 10 sectors and the 10 holdings, which include Microsoft, Apple, Amazon, Facebook, Google, Johnson & Johnson, Berkshire Hathaway, Visa, and Procter & Gamble. The reason I like this ETF is due to the fact that it tracks the S&P 500 index, which includes US large and mid-cap stocks. So this is one that has performed well over time, and it is also good for a long-term investment. Now, another similar ETF to SPY is VOO, which is actually the Vanguard S&P 500 ETF. The Vanguard S&P 500 ETF actually has very similar sectors and holdings, and some of the differences are that the SPY actually has more liquidity, but it does have a higher expense ratio, and the VOO, the Vanguard S&P 500 ETF, actually has a lower expense ratio but has less liquidity. Now, it all comes down to your preference and whatever you prefer, but I do personally like SPY a little bit better. The next ETF, which I also do personally like, is the Vanguard US REIT Fund. So as we can see, this is the symbol ticker VNQ, and it tracks a market cap weighted index of companies involved in the ownership and operation of real estate within the United States. As we can see, it does have a good dividend yield at 4.62%, and going to the Vanguard website, we do see its expense ratio of 0.12%. Now, even though the expense ratio is a bit high, I think it is great for a long-term investment. And on the Vanguard website, it gives more information, including a summary of the different things that this fund does, which is invest in companies that purchase office buildings, hotels, and other real property. Now, during this current global crisis, the good thing about real estate is that many people are actually buying up lots of cheap real estate, which is currently on the market, and are using it as long-term investments. So this is great, especially for those looking for passive income within their portfolio and also diversification into the real estate sector of the US economy. And as we go down here, we do see its 10 largest holdings. So this is definitely an ETF, which I also have, and I do recommend if people are looking for passive income and diversity for their portfolio. Now, the last ETF we are going to be talking about is going to be the PowerShares QQQ ETF. Now, this ETF tracks a market cap weighted index of 100 NASDAQ listed stocks. Now, this ETF leans heavy on big tech, and it is great for those that are going long on the tech sector. It does have large trading volume, and its current expense ratio is 0.20%. Some of the major holdings in this company are all going to be huge names, which we all know of, such as Microsoft, Apple, Amazon, Facebook, Google, Intel, Nvidia, Netflix, and Cisco Systems. Now, this is an ETF which I do personally believe in due to the fact that it is heavily tech based. And as you guys know, all of these companies are large cap and are not going to go anywhere anytime soon. They are currently innovating and creating some of the most advanced and high-tech technological services and devices, which not only us consumers use but other businesses. So once again, QQQ is definitely a great ETF to go long on as of now. One thing to keep in mind is that these are ETFs which I do personally believe in, have shares in, and have a high optimistic outlook due to extensive research and also investing. But one thing to know is that whenever you do invest, always do your research and see what ETF or stock best fits your need for the current economy. Now, if you guys enjoyed this video and gained value, go ahead and give it a thumbs up and subscribe for more content just like this. Thank you guys for watching. God bless you all, and I'll see you guys in the next video.